I remember the exact words. Family means sacrifice. That's what my dad said as he slid my ticket across the table. Not to me, but to my sister's fiancé. A man who hadn't paid a cent. A man who lived off her, off us. And me? I was the one who wired the money. $31,400. Flights, villa, excursions. Every detail booked under my card. But suddenly, my seat was gone. My father decided the freeloading fiancé deserved to be included, and I was told to step aside. I didn't argue, I didn't beg, I just smiled, pushed back my chair and said, "Of course." They thought they'd won, but I was already planning their downfall. I used to believe family meant loyalty. I used to believe my father would protect me the way he did when I was a kid. But somewhere between my adulthood and my sister's engagement, things shifted. My father's pride in me became irritation. My sister's failures became excuses. And every time, I was the one expected to give way. I paid, I covered, I sacrificed. And they took. When I booked that trip, I imagined it would be the first time in years we'd all be together without tension. I thought sunshine, beaches, and shared laughter could repair old cracks. Foolish, wasn't it? The moment my father told me my place was better used, I stopped being the provider. I became the architect. First move? Ownership. The bookings were in my name. Flights, villa, car rentals, excursions, every confirmation linked back to my email. Every reservation attached to my card. I didn't cancel. No, that would have been too easy, too merciful. Instead, I modified. Quietly, carefully. The beachfront villa became a cramped inland rental with no air conditioning. The rental car, once a spacious SUV, became a stick-shift compact. None of them knew how to drive manual. The excursions? Gone. No snorkeling, no luau's, no helicopter tours, just empty itineraries. I let them believe everything was intact. My sister gushed about sunsets. My father boasted to friends about the dream trip. All while the ground beneath them was already crumbling. Second move, finances. Since my card was tied to the bookings, I pulled it. Quietly, I swapped their flights onto the cheapest economy fares, stripped of baggage, seats scattered across the plane. At check-in, they'd discover it. Middle seats, separated, carry-ons only. And when they arrived at the rental counter in Hawaii, sweating in the tropical heat, they'd find a tiny, dented car waiting. One none of them could drive. But the masterpiece wasn't in logistics. It was in exposure. I left one booking untouched, the hotel I reserved under my father's name with my card. A 5-star resort, oceanfront, champagne on arrival, a place they thought they'd be staying. But I moved the payment responsibility. At check-in, my father would be asked for his card, $31,000. His name, his liability. I could already picture his face, veins rising in his temple, when the clerk said, "Sir, we'll need the card on file to finalize this reservation." The night before their flight, I sent one final message in the family group chat. Enjoy the trip. Consider it my gift. And then I muted the thread. The fallout came fast. From the airport, my sister sent a string of panicked texts. Their seats were split, no baggage allowed. My dad's rage came through in half-baked insults. I said nothing. Hours later, a call, breathless, furious. My sister again. "The villa's not what you booked. It's a shack, no air." I let her voice echo into silence before I hung up. Then came the call I had been waiting for, my father's. His voice was a low growl. "They're saying I owe $31,000 at the hotel. Fix this, now." I almost laughed. "No worries, Dad. Family means sacrifice, remember?" And then I hung up. They spent the trip suffocating in a stifling rental house, eating grocery store noodles because the budget had evaporated. No car to get around, no excursions, no luxury, just heat, resentment, and each other. Meanwhile, I wasn't home sulking. I was in Maui, in the five-star hotel, my name on the suite, sipping champagne on the balcony, watching the waves. Alone, at peace, unbothered. I saw them once, on the third day, trudging down the boardwalk, sweat-soaked and snarling. They didn't see me, or maybe they did, but couldn't bring themselves to approach. Either way, I raised my glass in their direction and smiled. When they came home, the silence was deafening. My sister avoided me. My father couldn't look at me. My mother muttered half-hearted defenses about misunderstandings. But I knew. I had shown them what sacrifice really looked like. And that trip, it became their worst memory. A blistering, suffocating, humiliating disaster they'd never live down. But for me, it was freedom. The last time they took from me. The first time I took everything back. I don't regret a thing.